everyone and welcome back to another video. As you will be aware if you've watched last week's video, we are currently away on our honeymoon, hopefully having the best time ever, and I am doing a bit of a Q&A about what we're going to be doing while we're over there. So if you haven't watched last week's video, which was the Q&A part 1, I would suggest you go and watch that first, just because that's going to give you sort of the more basic questions to do with our honeymoon, and then this is going to be the more detailed or activity specific questions. There is also on my channel an introduction video to our honeymoon, so just sort of telling you what we've got planned and what we're going to be doing while we're away. So it's probably a good idea to watch those before you jump into this one, so I will try and link both of those in the description. I'm filming this ahead of time, obviously, and I'm going to schedule it to go up while we're away, so I'm not sure how the links and stuff will work because some videos won't be live when I set this one up, but I'll try my best to get everything linked for you. If not, it'll all be in the honeymoon playlist that's on my channel. So these questions that I have today, as I said, these are more specific to the things that we're doing while we're there, so I'm not going to go into everything that we're doing again because I've done that a couple of times now. So I'm just going to dive right into the questions. These were all either sent through messages on here or they were sent to me on my Instagram when I put a question box up on my stories. So I hope that I can answer most of your questions today. There was quite a lot, so I've tried to sort of break them down into the most popular ones and group similar ones together so I can try and get through as much as possible without rambling for too long. That being said, I have now been talking for 2 minutes and I haven't answered a question yet, so let's just dive in. So question number 1 is, how are we going to be getting around in LA and Orlando? Do we drive? Odd question, well, odd answer to a quite simple question. Richard doesn't drive. I have a driver's license, but I don't drive. We don't have a car, we just think it's an unnecessary expense for us at the minute. And to be honest, I hated driving anyway. I haven't drove now for about 10 years. So while I technically can drive, I don't drive. And I definitely wouldn't drive in America when I'm probably very out of practice just driving in England, never mind in America. So we mainly use Ubers for getting around. We've been using Uber for probably about 6 years now. I think we first used it in Las Vegas. And we find it so affordable, so easy to use. Uber or Lyft. I always say Uber, but we do use Uber and Lyft. They're just very similar services. And a lot of drivers you will find work for both as well. If you're not sure what Uber is, it's basically like a taxi service, but you order the taxi on the app. The drivers use their own cars, but they are obviously registered with the company. You get to see who your driver is, the car that they're driving, and how far away they are when you book the taxi. And it also tells you how much it's going to be, and you pay through the app. You can also tip through the app, so it saves faffing about with cash and everything as well. So we do mainly use Uber and Lyft. Obviously when we're in Orlando we're staying at a Disney hotel, so for all the Disney parks we can use the Disney transportation, but for getting to the other parks and for travelling around in LA we are going to be using Uber and Lyft. I think, to be honest, that's what a lot of people do now. I know I've seen a lot of people say that traffic in LA is horrendous, so it's probably easier not to drive yourself, especially with like parking charges and things like that. So I would definitely look into Uber or Lyft if you're going to be heading over there anytime soon. On a completely different topic, the next question asked, what is my favourite ride in every park? Now obviously we haven't been, or I haven't been to Disneyland yet in LA, and I haven't been to Universal Studios Hollywood, so I can't answer for those. But for the Orlando parks, in Magic Kingdom I'm always torn between all of the mountains, but I think probably Big Thunder is my favourite. I do really love Splash and Space as well. I'm a bit gutted that Splash is going to be changing, so hopefully we can get on it a good few times at this time before the big refurb. I do want to give a special shout out to Haunted Mansion for Magic Kingdom as well. Haunted Mansion for some reason has a very special place in my heart. I absolutely love it, but I don't think it quite makes the favourite position. In Animal Kingdom, I think same as a lot of people, my favourite ride is Flight of Passage. Obviously Everest is an amazing roller coaster, but Flight of Passage is just something different. If you don't know what it is, definitely have a look on YouTube for some ride videos. You're not really supposed to film on it, I don't think, but people have. So yeah, have a look for some ride videos. It is absolutely out of this world. Such a brilliant ride, and I think a lot of people would now say that is their favourite ride in Animal Kingdom. Hollywood Studios. Now, I know a lot of people will expect me to say Smuggler's Run, because you'll know from our videos that we are Star Wars fans, and Smuggler's Run is an amazing ride. After this trip, I may be saying that Rise of the Resistance is my favourite, because we haven't been on that yet, so that could end up taking the top spot. But at the minute, my favourite is Tower of Terror. I absolutely love that ride. I love the theming more than anything, but I do love the sort of drop tower style of ride as well, and I love that nearly every time you go on, you can get a little bit of a different routine of the drop. So yeah, one of my absolute favourite rides in all of the parks. Love Tower of Terror. What's left? Epcot. There isn't really that much to choose from at Epcot. It's mainly the World Showcase. There's not a lot of rides, and the ones that there is are a bit more family friendly. Obviously there's Guardians of the Galaxy now, which we are yet to go on, and I'm sure by the time we have been on our honeymoon, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind will be my favourite. But as of now, I genuinely think I might say Spaceship Earth. We were a bit devastated when we found out they were going to be doing a refurb on it and we weren't going to get to go on it again. So we're kind of glad that that refurb seems to have been delayed or forgotten about, and we get to go on it again as it was. So yeah, I would probably say Spaceship Earth is my favourite ride in Epcot. As for the Universal parks, Universal Studios, love the Mummy. One of the best rides out there, absolutely love the Mummy. I'm so glad that as I'm filming this, it has just started opening back up again from its refurb, so we should be able to get on that while we are on honeymoon. And then in Islands of Adventure, I think it's going to have to be Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. It's a long title. Hagrid's, absolutely love it. We went on it for the first time on our last trip. We went on it twice. I think the first time we queued for about 2 hours or more, which that is the longest we have queued for any ride in a long time. We don't like queuing a long time for rides, but we absolutely loved that ride. It was brilliant. So yeah, that is my favourite in Islands of Adventure at the moment. And then as for SeaWorld, it has to be Mako. Mako is the smoothest coaster. You get the best airtime. It is just such a brilliant roller coaster. Honestly, if I went to SeaWorld and only did Mako the whole day, I would be perfectly happy. I absolutely love that ride, and I can't wait to get back on it again on this honeymoon. And then the only other park is Busch Gardens, but it has been that long since I've been there, and I've only been once. Honestly, I can't really remember any of the rides. I can remember being on SheiKra and being at the big drop and thinking, oh my god, what am I doing on this ride? But that's about all I can remember, so I can't really give a favourite for that one, but I hope that does answer the question for the rest of the parks. The next question is another favourites question, and it was, what is my favourite place to eat in the parks? This is a really difficult question. I do love food, and especially food in the parks. Obviously, as I said, I haven't been to LA before, so I can't answer for there. But as for the Orlando parks, we love Via Napoli and we love Yak and Yeti. Via Napoli is in Epcot, Yak and Yeti is in Animal Kingdom. They are probably our two favourite table service meals. Via Napoli, as you can probably tell, is Italian, and Yak and Yeti is more sort of Indian style. We absolutely love those two. They are definitely top of our list for table service. We go there every time. For quick service, I do love a Casey's hot dog. That's got to be up there. Pinocchio's in Magic Kingdom. Richard loves the soup in Pinocchio's, and the bread rolls, the breadsticks in there with the dipping sauce. Oh my god, they are perfection. So that is definitely top of our list as well. In Universal, we do love NBC Grill and Brew, which is on City Walk. We've been there a couple of times now. The burgers are gigantic, and you do really get your money's worth as well. We absolutely love there. In the parks, I find the Universal parks a bit tough because it's either stuff that I don't like or it's like burgers and chicken. We have been to, obviously, the Wizard and World restaurants a few times, but I'm not a big fan of fish, and that tends to be what we get in there, so I wouldn't put either of those up there with my favourites. I do really like the pizza in Louise, which is in Universal Studios. And I am actually very excited to try this time over in, I think it's in the island side. There's this like pizza stuffed pretzel thing that I've seen a couple of people have in their videos, and it looks amazing. So I haven't tried that yet, but I have a feeling that is going to be up there with my favourites once we've been on our honeymoon. On to a more LA based question now, and someone asked what is the first thing that we have planned when we get to LA. Basically, the first thing we have planned is to eat and then sleep. The time that our flight gets in, because Virgin did push our flight back, we were originally leaving at 10:30 and now we don't leave till 1:15. So by the time we actually get there, and obviously it's a very long flight, it is going to be quite late and we're definitely going to be exhausted. We do want to try and stay awake for a little bit to try and get on LA time. So because our hotel is so close to City Walk, we're just going to head to City Walk, grab something quick. I know there's a few places, like there's a KFC, there's a place that sounds a lot like a Subway, there's a place that just does burgers, there's a place that just does hot dogs. So we're just going to go and grab something quick, whatever we fancy from there. We'll maybe have a little look around the shops there if they're still open, and then we are just going to head back to the hotel and get a good night's sleep ready for an early start the next day. Our first full day though, our plans, we are getting up early, first thing in the morning, and going to Lake Hollywood Park, where there is brilliant views of the Hollywood sign. I thought it was only right to start our time in LA with the Hollywood sign. And then after like an hour or two there, we are heading to Universal Studios Hollywood, where we have booked the VIP tour. So we get to sort of go a bit behind the scenes. We get a tour of everything. We get to go to the front of the queue on a lot of rides. So very excited for that. And then once we are done there, I think we are going to get some food in Margaritaville on City Walk, because the park does shut at 6 o'clock. So when we leave the park, we're going to get some food. We really want to go to Margaritaville. Hopefully we can get a table. And then I think we are going to head down to the Hollywood and Highland sort of shopping centre district area, and have a bit of a look around there, maybe go in some shops, and yeah, just taking some of the sights. So that is our sort of first evening and first full day plans for LA. This next question I am going to choose to take in a nice way and a sort of genuinely curious way, rather than a obnoxious, sarcastic way that it could be taken. Someone did ask, is Disney World not just for kids? As I say, I'm going to take that as someone genuinely asking because they've never been and they want to know, rather than someone being a bit of a pain and doing the typical thing of, why do you go to Disney? It's just for kids. Which we do get a lot, and you do see a lot online as well. There's the whole like Disney adult thing, isn't there, where adults aren't supposed to like Disney and they're not supposed to like the Disney parks. So yeah, I'm going to try and take this question in a nice way, and I'm just going to answer it as it is. No, Disney World is not just for kids. There is plenty to do in the parks for adults. The things that are intended for kids, adults can very much enjoy as well. We enjoy them. The parades, the character meet and greets, the shows. Kids will absolutely love them, but so do adults. And then there is a lot of things that are just for adults as well. The Food and Wine Festival at Epcot is definitely geared much more towards adults. You can try different foods and drinks from all around the world. That is one of our favourite things about going at this time of year. There is also some roller coasters that are definitely not aimed at children. They are definitely more for the adult age range. And honestly, if you haven't been, go. That is all I can say. If you haven't been, you like roller coasters, you like high quality shows, you like Disney films, because if you like Disney films, you're definitely going to like the Disney parks. If you like good food, if you just like having a good time, then definitely check out a Disney park, and definitely go before you criticise people for enjoying it. I'm not saying that that's what this person was doing, but if you are thinking that adults shouldn't be going to Disney World, I suggest that you try it before you make that judgment. Someone has then asked, are we not doing any Halloween activities when we are in LA? I did touch on this in the sort of introductory video to our honeymoon, but no, we're not. We just don't want to take away from our LA time with Halloween stuff. As much as we do love Halloween, and especially in America, we are only in LA for a very short space of time. We have 4 nights in sort of the central LA area and then 4 nights in Anaheim at Disneyland, and that isn't a massive amount of time for everything that we want to do. So we really don't want to take time away from that with Halloween activities. As much as we would love to have all the time in the world there, and as much as we would enjoy doing the Halloween activities, we had to prioritise what we wanted to spend our time on. So no Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood this time, and no Oogie Boogie Bash in Disneyland. We will obviously get to see the Halloween decorations in Disneyland because they are up regardless of whether you're going to the parties or not. But no, we're not doing any Halloween specific events while we are in LA. We are saving that for when we get to Orlando. On the topic of Halloween, someone has asked me, do you not get terrified at Halloween Horror Nights? Yes I do. I am absolutely petrified the whole night through, but I do really enjoy it as well. I am a massive wimp. I have said this a lot of times. Horror films terrify the life out of me. I can only watch them if either Richard is going to be with me for the rest of the night and he doesn't have plans to go anywhere, or if we watch it through the day and then watch something funny afterwards. I am a huge wimp with horror films. Gory films, if I can avoid it, I will not watch them. I will only watch a gory film if it is going to be at Halloween Horror Nights. I hate gore and like blood and guts and everything. It's just not my thing. Thrillers I do sort of enjoy, but they also scare the life out of me. So yeah, Halloween Horror Nights does absolutely terrify me. I spend the whole night on edge. I jump at everything. I am probably the person that people laugh at going through the houses because I am always the one that screams in terror when something jumps out at me. I cling on to Richard and I'm never sure whether I want to go in front of him or behind him. Yeah, I am terrified for the whole night, but it's a kind of fun scared. Does that make any sense? It's like people who like horror films get scared. It's not that they're not scared of them, but they just enjoy them as well. And it's a bit like that. The adrenaline that you get from it makes you enjoy it, and you do have a really good time, even though you are terrified. The only thing that terrifies me to the point of it not being fun is chainsaws. And most of the years that we have been, they have had this sort of chainsaw gang in a certain area of the park, and if I could avoid that part of the park, I would. I absolutely hate these chainsaws because they are real chainsaws. They've just had the bit took off them that makes them dangerous. So these are real chainsaws that make the real chainsaw noise, and they put me beyond terrified. I did actually once run into the ladies' toilets to escape a man with a pumpkin head and a chainsaw that chased me down the street, and I ran into the toilets and had to text Richard asking if he had gone before I would come out. So in short, yes, I am completely terrified when we go to Halloween Horror Nights, but I do enjoy it. The next question is really more to do with the planning of the activities that we're doing, and someone has asked where we bought our tickets from. It's very varied. A lot of places I like to buy the tickets direct with them, just because I have found that it tends to be a better price. I do shop around for every ticket that we buy, and a lot of the time I find buying direct from the place is more affordable and is the best price I can find. So for example, we bought our Walt Disney World tickets through Walt Disney Travel Company with our hotel booking. We bought Richard's Universal Annual Pass from Universal. The Universal Studios Hollywood tickets we bought from their website, as we did for the VIP tour. The Warner Brothers tickets we bought from their website. The only things that weren't bought directly through the place that it's at was our Disneyland tickets. We bought those through attraction. They were attraction tickets direct. I feel like now they're maybe just attractiontickets.com or something like that. I'll link them down below, but it's who used to be Attraction Tickets Direct. They've had a slight rebranding in recent years, I think. We bought our Disneyland tickets through them just because that was where I found the best price. And what else did we buy through somebody else? Discovery Cove, we booked through Orlando Attraction Tickets. Very similar names, but I will link them both in the description. We booked our Discovery Cove package through Orlando Attraction Tickets because they had the best price at the time we were looking. They had a sale on, and they also had an offer on where you could just pay a £2 deposit to lock in the price. Orlando Attraction Tickets do that quite regularly, I've noticed. They have a very low deposit offer. So if you're looking to lock in a price, because prices do go up pretty much every year, if you're looking to lock in a price for next year, you can book your tickets now with a very low deposit. That locks in the price and then you can pay it off before you go. So yeah, that's the only things that we have booked not with the company directly. But definitely just shop around as long as you are buying through a trusted website. So look at reviews of the website before you buy. As long as it's through a trusted website, just shop around for the place that's going to give you the best price. Second to last question is, do we do character meets? Yes, we do. We love a character meet. Some people out there might think that is very childish and they might not understand it, but we absolutely love them. You've got to fully immerse yourself in things, and character meets are definitely a good way to do that. We were very disappointed, even though we understood, when you couldn't actually meet the characters anymore. You couldn't go near them, you had to stay a certain distance from them. There was no hugs. I love a character hug. Maybe childish of me, I don't care really. I enjoy it. But yeah, you can properly meet the characters again now. You can hug them, you can have full-on conversations with them, you can get the autographs again. Yes, I do collect character autographs. I am a Disney adult, I don't care. Yeah, we do character meets, we love them. We love meeting every single character, more so at Disney parks than anywhere else. We just don't tend to do character meets in like Universal. We maybe will this year because it's been so long since we've been. But yeah, we mainly tend to do Disney ones for some reason. But yes, we love a character meet. And finally, I'm going to do one more question because I can see that I have now been talking for a good 20 minutes or so. The last question I am going to put in here, someone asked, are we going to buy Genie Plus or Express Passes? For those who don't know, Genie Plus is the new Fast Pass system in Disneyland and Walt Disney World, and then Universal do their own version, which is the Express Pass. SeaWorld do also do a version which is Quick Queue, and I believe it's possibly also Quick Queue at Busch Gardens. Six Flags, which we are going to, also do their version of it, which at the moment I can't remember what it's called, but they do a version. We are only doing it, well, as of now, the only place we are buying it is in the Disney parks. We already have budgeted for it for every day that we're in Disneyland because we want to cram in as much as we can. And then for Disney World, we are going to see how we feel on the day and how the queues are looking as to whether we want to buy it or not. But we have budgeted enough to be able to buy it every Disney day if we need to. As things stand, we are not going to be buying Express or Quick Queue or whatever at any of the other parks. Six Flags Express, their version of it was very expensive, like a lot more expensive than the tickets. And from what I have read, it shouldn't be too busy on the day that we are going. So I don't think we'll need it there. If we can budget for it, and if we do really need it at any of the other parks, we will possibly end up buying it. I know Universals can sometimes be pretty budget friendly, so if we're at Universal and queues are looking really long, we may end up purchasing it. We have got Express for one of our Halloween Horror Nights just to make sure we get everything in on our last night there. But no, the main place that we will be buying it is in the Disney parks. So that is where I am going to end it for today. Thank you all so much for sending in all of those questions. There were so many that I ended up splitting it into 2 videos. So I hope I have answered everything that you asked. I hope you have enjoyed this part 2 of this Q&A. And if things have gone up the way I intend, this will be the last video you see before we are actually back from our honeymoon. And then I'm hoping the first weekend after we come back to be able to put up a haul video for you. So if you are excited to see that, please do give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to click that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. It really does mean the world to me. I know I say that every time, but it genuinely does. and you don't want to miss all of the honeymoon videos that are going to be coming on this channel. Speaking of that, make sure if you are subscribed you click the little notification bell, because then you will get a notification every time I upload a new video. And yeah, as I said, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I can't wait for you to see everything we get up to on honeymoon. Thank you so much for watching and for being a part of this channel, and I will see you next time. Bye.